Namaste. You are watching the Aghori Code. Today we will enter one of the deepest, most misunderstood aspects of Aghori wisdom, the use of what the world calls the 5 forbidden substances. For centuries, this practice has been shrouded in secrecy, fear, and judgment. Outsiders see only taboo, but within the folds of Sanatan Dharma, there lies profound meaning. By the end of this discourse, you will see why the Aghoris embrace what the world rejects, and how these 5 substances are not indulgence but instruments. Instruments to shatter illusion, transcend duality, and touch the absolute. Part 1. The Roots of Aghori Tradition. The Aghori path is one of radical acceptance, where the ordinary man seeks purity by rejecting what he finds impure. The Aghori sees purity in everything. For him, nothing in creation is outside of Shiva. This is rooted in the eternal philosophy of Sanatan Dharma, especially in the non-dualistic vision of Advaita. The Upanishads declare, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. All of this is Brahman. If everything is Brahman, how can anything be impure? Yet, human society thrives on categories. Pure and impure, high and low, sacred and profane. These boundaries are illusions, born of fear and attachment. The Aghori, walking the path of Shiva, smashes these boundaries. In Tantric and Aghori traditions, the 5 substances are called the Panchamakara, the 5 M's in Sanskrit, Madya, wine or intoxicants, Mamsa, meat, Matsya, fish, Mudra, parched grain, sometimes symbolized as ritual gestures, Maithuna, sexual union. In Orthodox practice, these were symbolic, but the Aghori, being radical seekers, take them literally, not because they crave pleasure, but because they seek to uproot every seed of fear and attachment. Let us now look at each of these substances in depth and uncover the wisdom hidden within them. Part 3. Madya the intoxicant. To drink wine or consume intoxicants is condemned in most dharmic paths. Why then do the Aghoris use it? The answer lies in consciousness. The ordinary man uses intoxication to escape. The Aghori uses it to confront. By consuming Madya in sacred ritual, he enters a state where the boundaries of mind loosen. But unlike the addict, he does not get lost in delusion. He observes. He meditates. The lesson is this. If your consciousness can remain anchored in Shiva even in the state of intoxication, then you have conquered the mind. Madya is not for pleasure. It is a test, a razor-sharp test of self-mastery. Part 4. Mamsa, the flesh. Meat is forbidden for most spiritual seekers, for it ties one to tamas, the inertia of existence. Yet the Aghori partakes of it. Here the teaching is subtle. Flesh represents the body itself. By eating meat, the Aghori breaks the illusion that vegetarian food is pure while flesh is impure. In the cremation ground where bodies are burnt, he meditates on the truth. This body too is just flesh. He asks, if you shrink from flesh, how will you transcend your own body? Mamsa thus becomes a mirror, reminding the seeker that this body, however sacred, is temporary. What matters is not what enters the body, but what transcends it. Part 5. Matsya, the fish. Why fish? Because fish symbolize the movements of thought. Just as fish dart swiftly in water, thoughts dart within the ocean of the mind. By consuming Matsya, the Aghori meditates on the restless nature of the mind. But deeper still, fish also represent the Matsya avatar of Vishnu, the first incarnation that preserved Dharma through the Great Deluge. Thus, fish becomes a symbol of survival, continuity, and transformation. To eat fish in the cremation ground is to internalize this message. The deluge of existence will come. The mind will race like fish, but the self, the Atman, survives untouched. Part 6. Mudra, the grain. Mudra is perhaps the most misunderstood. Many interpret it simply as parched grain. But in tantric symbolism, mudra also means hand gestures that seal energy in the body. When the Aghori partakes of mudra, he partakes of food in ritual awareness, breaking the idea that some foods are divine and others defiled. He eats from the skull bowl, reminding himself that all nourishment comes from death. The food that sustains him grows from soil, and soil itself is the residue of countless dead beings. Thus, mudra is the remembrance that life and death are eternally intertwined. Part 7. Maithuna Union. And now we come to the most secret and the most misused. Sexual union. For the Aghori, this is not about lust. It is the highest meditation on non-duality. When Shiva and Shakti unite, creation is born. In Maithuna, the seeker meditates on this cosmic play. The act is not physical indulgence, but dissolution of ego, where two bodies, two minds, two beings merge, reminding the seeker of the great truth. Separation is an illusion. Yet, many misunderstand this practice. That is why genuine Aghoris do not indulge casually. They practice in utmost secrecy, discipline, and awareness. Without discipline, Maithuna is bondage. With discipline, it is liberation. Part 8. The fifth essence. What people don't know. There is a deeper layer here, unknown to most. The Panchamakara are not only about substances, they are about facing fear. Society calls them forbidden because they trigger disgust, shame, or fear. But the Aghori's path is the destruction of fear. To see Shiva in wine, in flesh, in death, in union, is to pierce through the illusion of impurity. The five substances are not about consumption. They are about confrontation, confronting the shadows we hide from, confronting the shame that chains us, confronting the illusion that the sacred is somewhere else, when in truth, the sacred is everywhere. Part 9. Sanatan Dharma and Aghori Wisdom. Now you may ask, does this not contradict Sanatan Dharma? On the surface, yes, but beneath it completes it. Sanatan Dharma is vast like an ocean. It gives many paths. The path of devotion, the path of knowledge, the path of karma. For most, the path of purity and virtue is enough. But for a rare few, there is the path of total fearlessness. The Aghori path. Sanatan Dharma does not reject the Aghori. It honors him as one who dares to live in the cremation ground, eat from the skull, and find Brahman where others see filth. The Bhagavad Gita says, Yogina karma kurvanti sangam tyaktvat mashudaya. The yogi performs actions, free from attachment, for the purification of the self. The Aghori is such a yogi. His purification comes not from rejecting the world, but from embracing it in its darkest corners. Part 10. The final message. So, why do Aghoris use the five forbidden substances? Not for pleasure, not for rebellion, but to dissolve the illusion of duality, to prove that nothing is outside of Shiva. When you understand this, you realize the depth of their courage. The Aghori does not ask for your approval. He does not ask for your fear. He walks alone in the burning ground, holding a skull bowl, whispering the mantra of oneness. And perhaps we too can learn something. You and I may not walk the Aghori path, but we can practice its essence by seeing the sacred in the ordinary, the light in the darkness, and Shiva in all beings. If this teaching has stirred something in you, then let this journey not end here. Subscribe to the Aghori Code for more hidden wisdom of Sanatan Dharma and the fearless path of the Aghoris. Share your thoughts in the comments. What did you feel when you heard about the Panchamakara? Did it challenge you, disturb you, liberate you? Your engagement keeps this ancient wisdom alive in today's world. Until next time, remember, the sacred is everywhere, if only you dare to see.